It's that time of the day, that time of the week. Welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Expedition podcast with your two most favorite co-hosts in the entire world, my boy Brett, aka the White Rhino, and myself, Eduardo.
Yeah,
so
baby.
Brother, it's been a minute. I feel like it's been a hot one since we're back in our, I guess we could say one of our multiple studios. You know, don't want to brag, but
right.
but
we got
back,
it like that.
We're back in the studio, so here we are. I mean, I think there's a lot of quite a few things to touch on or just catch up on. But before we start, I mean, how are you doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good. You know, got the bling on, got the suntan going on.
There's a few changes I'm seeing with you lately.
You know, I've been participating in a lot of these ice raids.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
I'm telling you what, there's a lot of people that can run a lot faster than me. So
I mean, you look slimmer. I'll tell you that. You do look a lot slimmer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, that's what it is.
Sometimes they leave product behind.
That makes sense why you've been awake this whole week, haven't gone to sleep. Right?
Haven't got a lot of sleep this week. Yeah.
It all makes sense. It's all
just so you know, I'm playing. I haven't turned anybody in. But I do know someone who's self-deporting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know someone they're going back to their home country because I guess they're feeling the heat. So,
Dang,
yeah.
really? Okay. I mean, hopefully they have a chance to come back and do things the right way, right? Or the correct way, you know. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully.
But
yeah, man. I mean, dude. I mean, where do we start with on this episode for sure? Actually, hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day when they're watching
Yes.
this. Welcome to all the new listeners and followers. I know on TikTok some of our videos have been blowing up. Actually, we've talked about it before. Has been getting a lot of traction. I think it's the one in regards to the definition or the explanation of smart cities.
Smart cities,
and kind of explaining all that.
That's good.
So
People are getting-
yeah, check us out on TikTok. We got some really cool clips on there, like just from past previous episodes. Go check it out. Beyond Expedition Pod, and yeah. Just follow us on
There's
there.
a lot of different things that we talk about that are in relation to smart cities. Talking about the group of people involved that are behind these things. It's not just smart cities that they're doing. There's so many other things that these people are doing. So we'll be sure to definitely talk about more of that as we go along.
For sure. Most definitely. But yeah, man, you just, just to jump off something right off rib, you just came back from Cali, right?
Yeah, I came back from going back to Cali.
How was the weather?
Dude, the weather. I'm telling you, man, I came back and I've been we've been having some sunny days up here in Washington, which is very rare.
I know, right? I was like, it was too good to be true.
Yeah, and I have literally Cali planted that seed, that sunshine seed in me, and I'm still peeling. I mean, I'm still peeling.
I can tell you are.
But it was amazing. The weather was perfect. Our family went down to I'll tell you a little story actually.
All right,
our family, we spent 3 days in Disneyland, and then we did 1 day at Knott's Berry Farm.
Okay.
And then at Knott's Berry Farm, we got recognized from the show.
Oh, here we go. So, okay, so a little catch up just because for all you new listeners and viewers, Brett, once upon a time, was on a little popular TV show, what is known by 90 Day Fiancé. And this was like the very early stages, I believe, right? Because
second season.
I've never heard of it until you brought it up. And you've told me. I didn't believe you at first.
I didn't bring it up, Eddie.
Right.
Other people did.
Yeah, I thought you were trolling me at first. I'm like, this guy was on TV, really? This is when we first met, right? And lo and behold, I did my Googles, and there you were on TV. I'm like, holy moly.
Just today, I got approached by a guy that said, hey, some guy that I've been talking to very closely, on, let's just say some striking issues.
Okay.
And he's like, he's helped me out with a number of different things. And so all of a sudden, for the first time, he's like, hey, you know what I heard about you today? And I'm like, dude,
exact voice.
That was so 10 years ago.
So you check me out on a little podcast.
But he's going through that himself. He's got himself a Brazilian baddie that he's bringing over. And so we were just talking a lot about, actually about the immigration, about the difference between when my wife and I first started immigrating, the paperwork and all that, Obama was in office. And it was just smooth sailing. Like the way I described it, I'm like a clean turd. Like when you just let the turd and it just slides out. It was so quick, so clean. It was progressing so quickly.
Yeah. When
Trump came in, it was the weirdest thing. And people, if you've been through this process too, let me know, because we read the papers. And when Trump came in, everything came to it. This is Trump 1.0. everything came to a screeching halt. And my wife and I'm like, listen, our guy's in office, so it's okay. We're following the letter of the law. We're following the rules. We're doing everything right. And we're getting all the bad people out, you know? And
wink, wink.
But so anyway, but we went to the immigration place and we were expecting to get a date, like a citizenship. We were expecting the citizenship thing or whatever. But whatever that we needed at that time, and I forgot exactly what we needed, but they said, oh, we can't give that to you right now. All we can do is put a sticker on your green card. And I'm like looking at them and I'm like, where show me in the papers where it says that, because now I know that we cannot fly on any airplanes. We can't go traveling anywhere. We had to stay hunkered down like we were illegal. So we got a taste of it.
Peeping out the windows.
Oh yeah. Making sure she's not getting pulled over, making sure I'm not getting pulled over, so papers were straight, insurance was paid for, on that one, tabs, everything, so we weren't giving them a reason, but we are in an asylum state. So there's that.
It definitely would have worked on your favor for sure. Right?
Yeah. So. Maybe unless they saw our voting record.
Yeah,
get her out.
One way ticket back. Oh my god.
Yeah. Jay Inslee couldn't get me then, and Bob Ferguson ain't gonna get me now. But anyway, so they gave us this sticker, and so that's what we said. I'm like, this, they're making up stuff right now, and so we agreed that there's going to be no traveling for that year until she can become a U.S. citizen. There's no travel, no nothing. So we stayed hunkered down for a year. Bided or time. I don't know. Whatever the past tense of bide your time is. For all you English professors out there.
You whizzes.
But so we did that, and then finally the process came. It was a year later that a year off schedule that she finally got her citizenship. So she's an American.
Yeah. Let's go, baby.
Dual citizenship.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So but touching base back on how you got noticed. It's crazy how the journey led to this, right? Where everything just kind of it worked out in the long run, right, for you guys.
Oh, and
but it's funny that you still this day, like, you're kind of the OGs of the show, right? So it's still crazy to hear that you got recognized in Cali.
And I'm so glad, like, people can know, like, we keep a low profile. And everybody know that. And the one thing that I wanted everybody to remember, and it seems like it's really worked in our favor, is we are the real couple. So many times the show tried to cast her as like this gold digger, and she was never that. She was never that. And so we were always going back and forth with the producers, like, no, show us going to church. They did a whole scene where we were in our church and they filmed everything. Our pastor was all happy, like, because he was going to be on TV and everything.
Oh yeah, it's time to shine.
And they didn't show any of that footage. They did not want to show that side of us. They did not want to show anything like that. They just want to show tension, drama,
everything,
and create it. It was a lot of it was created. So so we pretty much parted ways with the show, and it's a shame because I feel like we could have contributed for that show. We could have given them more. It's just that the characters they wanted us to be and the characters we were willing to be were just worlds apart.
For sure. It's, of course, like, adding to what you were saying, right? They definitely just want the drama, the clickbait. They want the juicy stuff so people could get locked in.
And I would have given them drama. They just had to, like, show me the menu. Guys, show me the menu. And if there's anything we can both agree on, like, oh, okay, I can get goalie on this type of thing, right? Like for instance, case in point, if you could have got someone to, like, said something racist or something to my wife, right in front of me, right in front of my face, and whatever, right? It's on. You would have got some TV. You would have got some entertainment.
You probably would have got some fades or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and somebody would have caught a fade. Somebody would have caught a fade.
The cameraman.
Maybe I'd catch a charge. Either way, I'm willing to defend it. You know what I mean? So I could have went there with you guys, but You know, you weren't willing to meet me on anything that I was down. They wanted me to look like a sucker, really, like a weak, like I was just like gonna let it all happen.
I think that's what they call nowadays the young crowd a simp.
A
right?
simp. Yes, that's exactly what they wanted me to be. They wanted me to be a simp.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay on top of the lingo because I swear we're evolving as we get older. The lingo is just getting more and more advanced, as you can say. But you know, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not a pimp and I'm not a simp. I'm somewhere in between. You know what I mean?
Hey, sometimes we gotta be players at night. You know what I'm saying?
Simping ain't easy. But when you look at other people like Big Ed, is that what his name is? The guy with
no neck Ed or something like that.
No neck Ed
or something like that. Yeah.
So that guy, whatever that guy is, I would be mortified if I was known to the world as he is known.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty mortified. He's pretty recognized. I mean, he's still out there, like in regards to just seeing his stuff, you know, because of the show and just kind of his situation with his at the time girlfriend or wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, some people just still roll with the punches to kind of benefit off of it. Like if you truly have a plan to benefit off of it and you know gain followers or gain viewership and all that, and you use it to your advantage, I mean, power to you. But at the same time, it's almost like you're giving up something else at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's always trade-offs to stuff like that. So I mean, if you're with that, cool. But I mean that's respectable that you just didn't want no part of it and you kind of wanted to be low key about it. You know, because I mean, you even told me, you know, just you know, you don't really want to be recognized out there. I mean, you told me stories before about people just calling you like or kind of like following you around and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, I'd be kind of freaked out, like, yo, can I help you? Or what, you know,
I was really like, I knew that nothing would ever amount to anything, you know. But I still wanted to flex back because like when we saw in the comments section, I'll give you $20 if you can tell me where they live. I'm gonna come and pay them a visit.
What the hell?
And I'm like, all right. I got something hot for you. I got something hot. You know
I would not recommend doing that, right?
Yeah, it would suck. You would end up with a headache.
Well, there's no Tylenol for, baby.
No, Tylenol ain't gonna help.
Oh man, the TV biz. Yeah. Well, aside from that, Cali was cool though. Cali
was awesome. Was cool. And to the gentleman that we saw, he was very polite. Okay. You were very polite and it was great. So he said him and his wife watched us. Excuse me.
Compliments to the chef, like you say, right?
Classy. This is a classy show. All right. But anyway, yeah. So he was nice. We took a quick picture with him. We were happy.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
But Knott's Berry, dude, Knott's Berry. So let's talk about.
Okay, let's talk about it.
The difference between Disneyland and Knott's Berry.
Okay.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so Disneyland, you go there and you're paying like an arm and a leg. Well, when
everything's overcharged, bro.
Yeah, everything. And I don't know who my audience is, so I don't know like if I'm talking to a bunch of rich people that like when I say Disneyland, they're like, "Oh, I do that every day."
That's like a weekend thing for me.
Season pass holder. You know what I mean? But if I'm talking to like the people I grew up with, right? Disneyland is an expense.
Oh yeah,
it certainly is. And so let me just. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you guys, all right? We stayed at the Motel 6. We had to smell.
Honesty's the best policy, my friend. Hey, keeping it real. Keeping it real.
We had to smell an herb that is very familiar and legal now every night.
Hey, you might have got high, probably, right?
I think my daughter got high. Yeah. And it wasn't ours. It wasn't from our room. It wasn't from our stash. You know? Yeah. So that was that. And I just thought, you know, I told my wife, I said, honey, she really is a soldier.
Yeah.
And she's like, but she's looking at it like, why are we staying? And you know my story. You guys all know my history about I will stay at some janky hotels.
Yeah.
I am known for that because I just get in where I fit in, and I can fit in pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, chameleon.
I'm basically, yeah, chameleonaire.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah. OG too.
I'd be riding dirty, but so Motel 6 was where I stayed when I was a little kid. The first time I went to Disneyland, and my family was poor, and they could barely eke out enough to take us to Disneyland. But those were like some of my fondest memories when I wasn't getting the hell beat out of me and sent to foster care and all that other stuff. There were happy moments.
There was some light in between the dark too, right? Yeah, however that saying goes.
I think it was so cool. I got beat so badly that all I remember are the good parts.
I'm not sure if that's brain damage, bro. Yeah. I think you have a concussion, bro.
But anyway, so we stayed at Disneyland, or we stayed at Motel 6, and I just remember it. We walked every day, and I don't remember the walk being that long. I'm like, did they push that park back?
Like
I didn't remember that park being that. Anyway, we just Ubered it, so that was easy. But anyway, so Disneyland, everything is like dialed in, pristine. You know, there were tons of people. It was spring break. There were tons of people there. So we're arguing. We're dealing with the crowd, not arguing, but dealing with the crowds. And we did all the passes. We did the Park Hopper pass. We did the Fast Pass or Lightning Pass, whatever they call it, the Photo Pass. We did all that stuff. Just because I'm just saying, you know what? Let's not give us a reason to look back at this and be like, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
just want to like do it. So we did it. But everything like in Disneyland is so dialed in, like sizes or whatever, you know, like security. Like if you have your fast lane pass, you are definitely waiting, and they're verifying everything. Their computer system will, you know, read that QR code, and then they'll let you in, and everything is monitored. 3 days of that. That's what I'm used to. We go to Knott's Berry. We have the, I guess, I didn't even know I bought the pass there, but we got the pass there, the Lightning Pass. We go in there. The first thing we noticed was that all their machines were broke.
Oh, wow.
And so we're like, but they would still make you run your QR code or whatever.
Yeah.
You had to wear a bracelet, and you still had to run it through their machine. And then I got to the point where I told them, it's not working. Your machine's not working. They're like, oh yeah, just go anyway. You know? Well, then we would go to certain rides that weren't even manned.
Yeah.
So you're just helping yourself.
Just running the machine all yourself, just how fast it can go. Let's go.
So there was this roller coaster. Now,
oh no.
My daughter, she's, you know, she's insane. She's insane. She's not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. And so, but she's small. And so there's this roller coaster. It's called like surf tide or high tide or surf something.
Yeah.
High tide. I don't know. It's this ride that goes super fast, and then you're laying up at a 90-degree angle, looking straight up at the sky, and you're like way up there, and then it does this hairpin where all of a sudden you're coming down. It looks like you're gonna slam straight into the asphalt.
Yeah.
And then it takes you on this roller coaster or whatever, and it's going super fast, and what's holding you in is like this bar that holds you down into your lap, right? So this thing has to be secure. If you're loose at all, you're gonna slip out of this, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was nobody there. There was no attendant there to make sure that she was big enough, tall enough, like to even fit in the ride.
Yeah.
Now, I, being a parent, a proper parent, I made sure that she was tall enough. So I knew, okay, she passed the height requirement, but is this thing going to be loose at all?
Yeah.
And if I was thinking properly, I would have done the ride first myself.
Just to check it out.
Just to test it out. And just say, no, you're not ready for it, whatever. I didn't do that. But when I put the thing down, I put the belt down on her, and it's like, it's tight.
It's tight.
It's tight. And I'm like, okay. But now I'm like, is she gonna survive this?
Is she gonna freak out?
Is this gonna be a medical emergency on my hands, right? Anyway, so we do it. And she's like, and I'm going so fast that I can't even look at her right now. We're ripping. So now I'm just thinking at the end of this ride, I'm thinking she's going to be in tears. This is going to ruin her day. This is like the second ride we rode.
She's going to be traumatized, probably.
She's going to be traumatized. No, we get off and she's like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. So I'm like, are you serious? So I went with her again, right? Yeah. Well, my head now, it's from moving all there. Yeah. I'm like, honey, I can't do this a third time. She wanted to do it a third time. I'm like, no, eventually you're going to slip out. And that's what I'm really afraid of, But I just told her, I said, my head hurts or whatever. So we rode all the other rides that she could ride on. And I asked her, I said, hey, how'd you like that one? She goes, It wasn't scary enough.
Oh,
so she
man.
likes these scary rides. And but Space Mountain, back to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Space Mountain, I'm telling her, I'm talking her up. By the way, Space Mountain is nothing compared to that ride at Knott's Berry. That was like by far the scariest ride that we went on.
Okay, interesting.
But we ride Space Mountain, and I'm hyping it up. I'm like, honey, I'll tell you the same thing my grandma told me when we rode this thing together.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to cry, you can cry. I'll cry with you, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, okay. So we're riding this thing, and Space Mountain is just ripping through. It's, going up and down.
Yeah.
Everything's dark, and whatever. It's like, I guess Star Wars now is what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I'm old school, and that's all I remember. Like, Tiana's thing, I kept calling it Splash Mountain, and people were like, that's racist, bro. Stop calling it. Oh, and I'll tell you a little story about that. I had a funny So anyway, so we're coming around a loop. Well, anyway, the ride's about to end, right?
Yeah.
Or the ride's like it is ending, right?
Yeah.
And so I look over at my daughter and I go, "Hey, how's it going?" She's slumped in her seat, just not moving. Not moving at all. And so I'm shaking her. I'm like, hey, and I'm in front of people, so I'm playing it cool, like,
Yeah.
wake up, buddy. So I'm tapping her, like, and then I start squeezing a little bit, like, hey, are you like? And she gets up, like, just kidding.
Oh,
She passed out on the
same
ride.
thing. I swear, this guy does the same thing with me, where he messes with me. I'm going up to be like, dude, you get me in the most ways where I'm like, I thought you were being serious, but you were just joking around. There's few things that
Heart skipped a beat,
reference, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
buddy.
and she is my daughter.
Yeah,
Clearly my
for
daughter.
sure.
She takes after me in so many areas where, like, I play that type of game, right? Yeah, she plays it too, and she's getting good. She's getting good.
Oh man, dude, you're definitely you're sharpening the knives very well, dude.
Yeah, so we're now last story that I'll share with Disneyland. So we're watching this parade. We wanted to, this is probably our last day.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of, we've been everywhere. It's getting kind of hot. It's like in the middle of the day where it's at its hottest moment. And so we're like, man, we've been walking all day. Let's just watch a parade. Let's just chill out, watch a parade, right? So we get up, to the parade that's about to start, and this Caucasian gentleman turns back and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing good, man. How's it going?" He goes, "Yeah, what color are your kids?" And so I knew, okay? I knew he did not mean it in any way, right? I knew it. But he left me an open, right? And I had an audience. I had everybody there. So I raised my voice. I go, "What color are my kids?" Just to embarrass him a little bit. I don't even know this guy.
So the question being, that's like, what? Is that really a question? Like,
right. And so he like instantly realizes, oh, I'm in this situation. So his wife turns in, like she's got to defend him now, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh no, the parade." I said, "Dude, I'm just playing with you. I knew you didn't mean it that way." I said, "But I don't know what you mean. So what do you mean?" And so he told me that the kids apparently just come from different areas around the country, and they participate in some dances. And the way you know them is the color of shirt that they wear when they go. So when he's asking what color shirt does your kid wear?
Yeah.
And it was innocent. It was clean fun, but he left me in it wide open, and that's how I meet new people.
Yeah. That's how best friends are made right there. You know what I'm saying? It can be just a small little joke like that, a little misunderstanding, but hey.
Yeah. And it was good, clean fun. Like, so I did ask him, I said, now that, everything's established, I go, "So what color are your kids?" And then he leaned in, he goes, "It's going to sound bad, but, white." Well played, dude. That's how you play this stuff, right?
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You had a good time, though. Moral story: it was a fun time, good little family vacay, good weather, good entertainment, and just memories, bro. That's what's up.
It was incredible. I am so glad we went in the spring. I'm so glad, everything went perfectly. Travel, we didn't have any issues. I was really nervous about Uber, not knowing how reliable it would be. But I'd been doing some traveling lately, so when I was in San Antonio, didn't have any problems with Uber whatsoever. So I said, you know what? Let's just wing it. Let's just go for Uber, and if it works, it works. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, man. I think for the most part, it's pretty reliable. I would think. I think in my experiences, I think I've only had one mishap. I think it was a different one. I think it was a Lyft. The driver just didn't show up when it said it was near. But then we just went to Uber. I mean, at the time, just because I think there was just a cheaper price. But I'm like, screw it. Let's just go with Uber at this point. So yeah, I mean, I never had issues with them personally. But yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, especially in springtime too. It's not that hot. When I went a couple years ago, we went in June, and that was very hot. Yeah, that was like the weather was pretty intense. I remember I wore a white shirt on this particular day, dude. I'm just sweating through it, dude.
Yes,
dude. It's the heat is pretty brutal. It's just pretty amazing. Some people still wear like long sleeve shirts or sweaters around that time of the year. I'm like, dude, you guys are great.
How do you do it?
How do you do it? They're different people over there, but yeah, man, Cali's cool. I definitely want to go back for sure. But yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's what's up. So next on the agenda, I brought something very interesting just because
what is this?
I saw this in the store, and I'm sure people know what we're talking about here. Brett is not familiar with this drink what the frenzy and chaos this particular drink started. But not only just the drink itself, the person that actually made this a very popular thing, or a very popular drink, I guess you could say. We're gonna pull up a video here. I want you to watch this, and I want you to think to yourself, okay, what do I do in the morning when I first get up? And what time do I get up, or on my regular Monday to Friday or whatever, right? But let's run the clip. I want you to give me your opinion, give the people their opinion on this viral video that went. This viral video that went viral. It's a morning routine.
So it says it's got 10,000 views 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So somebody reposted this, but obviously the original one, the original I think has like 10 million.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty crazy.
All right. So, our producer's gonna play the video over here.
Hit the play button.
Hit the play button. 3:53 a.m. Brushing his teeth. Yeah, that's me. Oh.
It's like, so he's I'm still sleeping by this time, as you can see, Brett. I'm still knocked out. Just take a little time to write a couple notes.
Oh man, this is what I do.
Really?
Oh, what is going on?
Just getting ready for a little workout. Putting the sneaks on. You know what I'm saying?
Man, 6 a.m. now. Okay. Oh, I don't have one of those packs yet. I'm getting close, so I'm getting close.
You're evolving.
Oh, okay. Now he's running. He's done. Oh, he's gonna swim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wish I could swim.
That's good.
I can't swim yet.
I'll save you.
Get a little jacuzzi time.
Okay. What's going on? Was that banana?
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at it, bro. Oh, now he's podcasting.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh,
that looks
wow,
weird.
breakfast. The first time he's eaten is at 9:30 in the morning.
I guess so. But that's what made this blow up.
Are you serious?
But the thing with this, right? People, they were flaming him on the comments saying,
"Oh, okay,
you don't really do this every morning." And what came of this too is like people were making their own renditions of their morning routines.
I love the internet.
That's what I think. For me, it's like the humorous aspect of it, right? Like, even if this man does this on a daily basis, kudos to you, salute, because you're in shape. You're, looks like you're well off.
Right.
I mean, you're kind of doing your thing. It's like, at the end of the day, you're winning. It's like, why the big, like, why should people make fun of him if like he's in the position of being successful? But it's like people still gonna throw in the humor side of it.
The funniest part, the first part of the video where he's brushing his teeth, and then he's pouring this, and this is sparkling water, carbonated spring water.
Yeah.
He's pouring that in as his washing his mouth.
Yeah.
So have you ever done
No.
carbonated? It would go everywhere.
Just foaming out the mouth.
like a picture drinking, like brushing your teeth and then swigging it with Coke.
Okay.
Like, or Sprite or something like that, right? It's carbonated. So you're that's hilarious. I love that. I would never think of swishing my mouth out or whatever with with a carbonated beverage.
Especially also too, where he takes a glass of one of these and he puts it in a bowl and he just like dumps his face in there.
The pool he was swimming in, was it full of this?
No. It wasn't full of this, but he takes.
Should have been.
That would have been more.
That's
gangster,
what I'm
right?
saying.
Like just people just pouring.
I want to swim in carbonated water.
I think if you do that, that would go viral within itself. Just buy like one of those inflatable pools and just say, I'm gonna take a swim in this.
Yeah, have it look like a big pool. Like where it's like, yeah. Absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Wow.
But yeah, man, that video.
That's all it took.
That video went viral, and I swear these guys skyrocketed. And I was surprised that I saw, out of all the carbonated drinks that I saw there, because Pierre is one of the main ones, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw this one next to it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I guess I'm all because of one person. I'm guessing, right? This is just my assumption.
Was it priced appropriately?
I believe this was $230 something.
That's premium.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, try it, man. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Give an initial review and just the taste. I mean, what is it? Is it any good? That's my thing, right? Like, it looks fancy, right? Like Saratoga, looks pretty fancy. There's a glass version of it. It's pretty big. This is the small one's plastic one, so
San Pellegrino is the main one, right?
San Pellegrino, then Pierre.
Yeah, I think
right?
San Pellegrino is, or no. Which I think San Pellegrino is the one I drink. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the one I like.
Okay.
But let's just give it a taste here.
Since you're evolving, you got the gold bracelet. You know,
not fake either.
See, so you got to go with the real deal. So yeah, man. I mean, let the people know, dude, what they're missing out on. If this is like high luxury at its finest, maybe you can swig your teeth with it when you brush them.
We'll give it the Amacy assessment. For those who don't know, Amacy is
you'll know
the G in me. Yeah. All right, let's give it
let us know.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah, take a little swiggy swig.
Good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay, out of 10, how would you give it?
9.5. I mean, I'm still gonna put it behind San Pellegrino or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Only because they have that lime and the
yeah.
those
I saw that's the one I saw.
This is like, I mean, dude, I would easily drink this. I mean,
might be your new thing.
You might see me.
Saratoga. Like there's
and we're still looking for sponsors.
Right, hey. Saratoga right here. This would be your new or our new sponsor. There you go. Just we'll fill this whole table with them.
Like I can be really trashy. I know I can, but I can clean up nice too. Yeah. So if you need me to clean up nice, I will do that for you.
Yeah,
Saratoga.
It's like the other day when we were talking about. I don't know how this conversation started, but we were talking about elevating and just elevating ourselves. And you sent me these bust down glasses with diamonds on them. You're like, watch, bro, I'm going to buy these. And they were like,
wasn't that the hat? Didn't I send you the hat?
It was
you
a
sent
hat,
me the glasses.
And I'm like, you need these glasses.
Yeah.
They're Cartier glasses.
Dude, so I don't feel like I could go that far with it, right?
I think if you can go maybe some nice, just without the diamonds and all that, but just some nice sunglasses, I think you can pull it off.
Coach. I mean, I could go Coach.
Okay, we can do Coach. Yeah, start off baby steps. And then
I fly Coach.
It fits perfectly. Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, there you go,
Brett,
bro.
He flies Coach wearing Coach glasses.
There you go.
I'll be like that new thing, like,
right.
Yeah. Like I'm in Coach because I want to be in Coach, but obviously I should be in first class.
See all the C's on my glasses. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to be with the people. Yeah, there's a message, people.
Oh man, but yeah, bro. I mean, enjoy, and I got you two of them, and yeah, that's kind of why I brought it, because it literally was just there, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! These things are everywhere now, and it's just maybe it's because of this guy that made it go viral. So yeah, they're booming, as they say.
I like it. Yeah. I like it a lot. That's good. Good looking out.
No, for sure. But we were talking about music. Let's jump into another topic. Yeah. Of course, here on this podcast, we like to touch multiple different topics and just go down different avenues of stuff. We are big music heads, and I think I sent you a post or a flyer in regards to a lot of the OGs coming to do a concert here at our local arena, Angel of the Winds Arena. I believe that's what it's called. I believe it's Too Short. I think Ice Cube's going to be there, the Dog Pound, a few other people, notable names, right?
Yeah.
But what's crazy, you said something that I feel is so true. It seems like when they say the golden era of hip hop or rap was during the early 90s or mid 90s to like
mid 90s,
right? it seems to stand the test of time due to the fact that they're touring. I actually saw another poster of Juvenile coming with a live band doing a concert in Seattle.
Wow.
So there's a lot of
a live band?
Yeah, with a live band. Yeah, I think that's dope. So then Ice Cube's doing also a standalone concert, and I think he's going to be at this Legends of the West Coast. I believe that's what it's called. But a lot of the OGs, coming in, doing shows, and just still like staying relevant, given that some of the songs might be like some of their older stuff.
Right.
But they're still popping. And also, we just got word, or I just got word. I think I sent you the track. Too Short is releasing another album.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get to listen to the song yet. I wanted to listen to it.
Dude, it's to me. I was like, when I played, I was into it. I'm like, man, it has that 90s-esque feel.
Yeah.
That just like I said, it's a true testament that it stands the test of time. That like I can say that, man, I can bump this like at any given day.
Yep.
It's so cool to think. Like he even said it on how I came about it was there was a clip of his that I came across on TikTok that he was talking about him making new music and how he was just telling himself, I don't want to put myself in the same box with all these other rappers and what they're doing with the current stuff. Like I'm gonna stick to the stuff that I know has been sounding good before, at the time when I was coming up and just making good music.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, that's respectable. Like he doesn't want to like be following this certain avenue where he just wants to do his own thing.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, dude, shout out to Too Short. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it does. I think it does a couple things there, right? It introduces the new people to something authentic. Like they can call it new because it's fresh.
Yeah.
But it's that original flavor.
Oh, dude, yeah, I like it. Just the beat itself, man. It's just got that bayish sound, like that old school like Too Short sound. Like it's just like that chill cruising, just bumping your ride.
It's like when you go to the store and you get yourself a 12-pack of Coke, right? Tastes just like 1996.
Yeah.
But it has a totally fresh label.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, it's like back in the day, you should actually put Coke in the Coke.
Yeah, take it back.
Take it back. I heard they want to bring that back. Is that true?
Well, they want to bring it back, but it's just because we are, as a society, we have degraded to the point where we're like, anything goes now.
It's like, let's just keep putting sugar to just kick the diabetes up a little bit more for these people, right?
Diabetes, mRNA, spike proteins.
Oh, bro. It's like,
just kidding, YouTube. Just kidding.
Yeah, we're definitely walking a fine line with YouTube too, by the way, which we've been doing pretty good so far. So hopefully,
we're just playing. Like, dude, this is an entertainment show.
Right.
People don't come to us like we're Fox News or CNN.
Yeah, they don't come for us for like what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like we just.
But if you want to know what happened to the Titanic, I'll tell you.
Oh, speaking of that, actually, that's a good point you brought that up.
Oh,
we're moving along pretty smoothly here.
Okay.
But I mean, in regards, I want to get your opinion on, of course, the whole music thing. Like, do you feel as if like it's making like a certain comeback, or do you feel like it's just like that? Like it comes up every once in a while, cool, they can still tour, or what do you think?
I think here's the thing. You know how like we would always like when you think about the 80s, right? We're always joking because it's always like the heavy metal, the hard rock or whatever, right? And it's always the same, like Trans Ams and long hair the AC/DC, all that kind of stuff, right? That is what the 90s hip hop was able to do for that era. So it became timeless. So now we can be 20 years down the road, 30 years, 40 years. It's still going to be relevant because it etched a mark so deeply ingrained in all of us, in all like everything that we did in life. Like we can remember our first kiss, our first dance, our first drive-by, our first golf. Just kidding.
Wait, what? Not that one. We might need to cut that out.
Hey, producer, cut that out.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, but no, yeah. I mean, it's true, man. Like it's always cool to revisit and really reminisce during at those times. Like even when you find songs like on certain albums that you go back to, I'm like, dang, I didn't know this track was on here. Like when I sent you it was funny when I sent you a Reasonable Doubt, when I actually took like an actual listen through the whole album. I'm like, dude, you got to listen to this. And you're like, dude, this is actually pretty fire. And I remember you telling me that you listened to the whole thing. I was like, damn.
That was the other thing too. Yes, I'm glad you said that because the 90s, the mid 90s, everybody was coming out with just amazing albums, right? So we only had the bandwidth and the time to listen to a certain amount. We couldn't listen to everything. So now all of a sudden all this time has passed, and then your boy will send you some music like, hey, bet you have you ever heard this? Bet you haven't heard this. All of a sudden you're hearing it and it brings back just the vibe, the music, the instrumental. You know what I love too about the 90s is when the mid 90s hip hop is when they would have the girl singing, right? Okay. So like in a lot of Death Row tracks, like,
who was like on that one?
Michelle A.
Yeah.
Exactly like her. So they did that, but Jay-Z had his. They would do that. But yes, that was one of my favorite songs about a rap song that I would love. Like when Tupac would go on a song, Ja Rule was doing the same thing with Ashanti.
Yep, that's true. I was just watching a documentary about that too. That's crazy.
And so I would love it when they would put the girl on. Yeah, I love that. That was my favorite part about a song.
Yeah, it definitely. I think that's when it kind of still was standing. It's test of time when with that certain element, right? When you're talking about Ja Rule, I mean, dude, Murder Inc. at that time, it was Ashanti, Ja Rule, and the whole Murder Inc. family. I mean, they were taking the whole thing by storm, and then 50 Cent came and squashed that, though. You know what I'm saying? But they had their own. They had their own. Like I said, the time frame there where they were locking everything down, dude. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to look back at the history, right? Of just the certain trends, the certain styles, the what coast had the most popping artists at that time, and it just shifted all around from the East Coast to Midwest to the South to the West Coast and all that.
Did you ever get down with South Park Mexican SPM?
I did. Just on the mere fact, just because at the time, like some of my friends would play some of this stuff, right? Yeah. And I mean, he was very crafty with his words. Yeah, he was really crafty with his words. I got to give him that. Lyrically, he was very crafty with his words. Yep. I mean, he did know how to freestyle. I mean, I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, and he was very lyrical. Like he had that very slow. He was like almost like the Mexican Mace, right? The Hispanic Mace, because Mace had that slow flow. Yeah. Too Short was the West Coast version. He had his slow flow. So I really like the rappers with the slow flow. So when SPM came out. And I heard, I'm in Montana, guys.
Damn, all the way
How
to
did I even know all this? The Source magazine? Thanks, Benzino.
Right. That was your internet back in the days, bro. That was like your Google back in the days, just to look at who's the hottest thing out right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. But we were just talking about, too, that there's a few albums coming out that are going to make their release here this year. I mean, they were talking about another Nas album and Big L album.
Dude.
Crazy.
Big L. So here's the thing about Big L. He was supposed to be one of the greats, right? And he still was. He still became like very. At least we discovered him, and but he didn't get to do it on the level that he should have done it. He was taken from us way too early. A massive amount of talent. I just remember. I mean, it's obviously one of his most famous lines. Yeah, like. Ask Beavis, I get nothing but head.
Yeah, that's crafty wordplay. That's crafty wordplay.
At that time, nobody was going that far with it. It was amazing. I'm like, dude, this guy, I could never freestyle. Right. I mean, unless I could, get some sippy on, then I would do it. But it was never on the level of like
the greats, right? Yeah, man. No, it's I'm looking forward to it. Of course, it's always good to see, like I said, that I would say pioneers at the time, pioneers still that are dropping music still. Like the Clips is gonna have another album out. Remember we were I sent you a snippet of that.
Are they working with Pharrell at all?
Pharrell again, yeah, yes. Dude. Oh, another Clips album will be sick. Lord willing was one of those albums that was on rotation heavily.
Oh my gosh,
the picture of that was pretty crazy. Like they had Jesus Christ in the back, rolling around the car.
Here's the one thing I will. This is going to be my one critique of these rappers that do like. Please. You were young when you put out your first album, so all the stuff you were talking about, we were young too. Mm-hmm. But guess what? We've all grown up. Mm-hmm. So please show growth. Show growth in your music. So if you got to talk about some grown type stuff, talk about some grown stuff. Yeah, that's what I want. That's all I want as an old man and an old music head. I want to be able to, if I could, someone that I grew up with, like if Tupac was still alive, right? But if like Mace, when he came out, he was still trying to be all flashy. He was trying to be what he was back then. You don't have to, guys. You don't have to. What you need to do is we will listen to you still if you show that you've grown. Like, oh man, I remember when you were talking about all the flashy suits and all this, but now you're talking about some real stuff going on in our country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're talking about how it's impacting your friends and whatever on a personal level. Just as what hip hop was. Hip hop used to be the news source of the inner cities for the people. So bring that element back to it, show some growth, and put out some dope music. For
sure. Amen to that. But yeah, man, I mean, good music, on its way, slated to come out. So we're definitely going to keep that for sure. But on a past previous episode, we talked about the Titanic. Apparently there were some new findings. I don't know if you heard of it, that there were some new scans that they found, like these new details about the Titanic and all that. If you haven't checked out the episode where we talk about that and how it was potentially a scam, right? It was actually the Titanic that didn't sink. It was a different boat.
Of the Olympic.
Yeah, the Olympic. If you haven't caught that episode, definitely go check that out. We're on available YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz. But just to read off some notes here that I have. Yeah. So some key points that they found, right? Research suggests that new 3D scans of the Titanic wreck completed in 2022 revealed detailed insights into its final moments. It seemed likely that the engineers stayed at their post to maintain power, potentially saving lives as shown by an open steam valve. The evidence leans towards the collision with the iceberg lasting just 6.3 seconds, causing the critical damage. There's controversy around First Officer William Murdoch's actions, but scans may support he was preparing to launch a lifeboat. So the recent discoveries for the detailed 3D scan of the Titanic wreck revealed in 2025 documentary provide new insights into the ship's tragic end. The scan created a full-scale digital twin, preserving the wreck's condition as it was in 2022. This has helped corroborate historical accounts and offer a clearer picture for researchers and the public. So collision and damage. The scan shows that Titanic collided with the iceberg in just 6.3 seconds, a glancing blow that caused punctures along 18 feet, affecting 6 watertight compartments. Some holes were as small as paper-sized, and in simulations suggest a head-on collision might have kept the ship afloat. Crew heroism. An open steam valve in the boiler room 2 indicates engineers stayed at their post for over 2 hours post-collision, maintaining electricity and distress signals, potentially sacrificing 35 men to save hundreds.
Wow.
That's crazy. William Murdoch's role. The precise positioning of a lifeboat. David supports testimony that First Officer Murdoch was preparing to launch a lifeboat when washed out to sea, potentially clearing his name from negative portrayals. Wreck condition. The scan captures the wreck's deteriorating state with parts collapsing, but preserves it digitally for future study, marking a new era in underwater archaeology. So that's just some of the stuff they found, some kind of like key points or whatever. But yeah, so this Murdoch dude, they were trying to paint like he was like somebody that pretty much said, like, screw all you guys, I'm gonna save myself.
Getting on my boat.
I'm like, what do you do in that case, bro?
I do the same thing, bro.
I mean, come on, people. Like, you're on a boat that's just on the verge of sinking and super cold ice water. I mean, you're not going to make it out alive. If you have
we saw what happened to Leonardo.
Yeah, we saw what happened to Leo. He just got let go and he sunk all the way down. So there you go. Right. So, and there should have been space for 2 people on that little thing.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, so right, like, I mean, what would you do? I'm sure people would do the same thing, right? If
we're all going to lie and say, "Oh no, I'd save everybody else.
Be heroic and save as many people as I can." No, I don't believe you one bit. But yeah, man, that's just crazy where we come to with technology too, right? That they're able to detect a lot of these new findings to get precise, I guess, accurate estimations on what really happened that unfortunate night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's crazy. But the other one too, just right off rip in regards to technology, man. I think I sent you an article about the insemination of the 40-year-old woman down in Guadalajara, Mexico, from AI, choosing like the most perfect, I guess. It had AI choose the perfect sperm specimen to pretty much impregnate the egg, I think, or something like that.
That is our every parent's dream.
I just think to myself, man.
Sometimes do you look at your kids and you're like, oh, if only I could have chosen better sperm.
If you were a little taller, just a little taller, and you were a guy. No, I'm just playing. No, but it's insane to think though, right? That we've come to this point where we have AI doing this. That is, I think, to me the most. I want to say it's alarming, but it really makes you like just kind of reminisce and look back on how far we've come from the times like me and you when we were coming up as young pups, being in our teens and in our 20s, 30s. Now I'm mid 30s, you're around their age too as well. Yeah. But it's like we're literally having machines figure all this out. They're learning. It's like I saw a video of comparison of the early stages of AI creating videos, and in a video of now, I think it was like somebody eating spaghetti. And dude, the time frame from when it first started doing it till now, it is so insane how far we've come to where it could create videos out of just a video, whatever command you want to type in, it'll create it just like that.
Yeah.
Super precise. No, and it's only going to get better. That's the craziest thing.
It is scary. Yeah. I mean, you think about like when, think about the guy that created the gun for the first time, right? And he's like, yeah, I can. His whole goal was to shoot elk or deer, like, oh, I'm really tired of this bow and arrow or spear and whatever. This, I hate chipping obsidian all day. If only I could do something different, and all of a sudden, they're whatever, this chain of event turns it into this long rifle, thing where he's able to shoot deer. Then his messed up deranged buddy was like, dude, you know what else we can do?
Let's shoot a human.
You know what I mean? It just goes there. And so you talk about perfecting this DNA like this, right?
Yeah.
And then, so how, like, what perversion of the mind has to take place to where, like, here we're thinking about the most innocent things.
Yeah.
Is someone going to be like, oh, but we could make the worst, most evilest people that have no emotions or whatever, right? Are they going to go there with that? I don't know.
Or create a human to where, when we go back in time, right, during the time, I hate to bring this gentleman up, but Adolf Hitler, wasn't his, like, one of his things he wanted to do was create, like, the master race. Something like that. AI could be like, well, let's create the perfect human that will obey.
Exactly, dude.
That obey will just listen to our every commands, and we can make some modifications to where, in case we need to, intrude their minds, we can do this.
Dude, imagine if they decided no more white people, right? And then, so even if you are white, because they can whatever, artificially inseminate, they could be like, not when you give birth. And then that's the end of the white race. Dude. Salute to all my brothers and sisters. It was fun while it lasted. We did all kinds of stuff. We built Titanics. We built buildings. We made guns. We made medicines. We made, we made the polka dance.
The swing dance.
We stole music from every other genre. It was so fun.
I think it's fair to say we've had our time, right? Or your time, right?
We were the baddies.
Now it's the machines.
We the baddies?
Now it's the machines that are going to learn how to do all this cool stuff, right? Their own music, their own trends. What's better for the human race? What's better for the planet? It's just going to go diabolical, no holds bar. It's going to be a crazy ride.
Yeah, dude. I don't think I'm ready. I
want to see us being at the age of like 60 plus and looking back to see how much of this stuff, like re-listen to these recordings and just going back and be like, were we dead on or were we like way off?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I hope it's somewhat like the movie Life, where the two prisoners were, they got out of the prison. Do you know the movie with Eddie Murphy and
Martin Lawrence? Yeah. I remember a little bit of it.
And so, they here they are. They were framed for a crime they didn't commit, and they ended up getting sentenced in life in prison, or life for life, right? It's life in prison. Well, they end up coming up with this scheme to, at the very end, they finally get out of prison, right? So here they are, just sitting old together, on the porch, whatever, still bickering. They bickered at each other all the time. But that would be us, like, oh, Eddie, remember back in 2025 when we were talking about artificial insemination being taboo? Now it's the whole thing. Man.
We have robots taking care of us now.
Yeah. Like now humans don't even give birth.
Right. It's like
we just artificially inseminate an artificial ovary.
Right. It's like literally an incubator. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
It's going to move through there. I'm
like
telling you.
Sex dungeon, but for computers.
Oh man, if only we would have the budget to write a movie, man, we would make a pretty sweet movie about it. I think, you know.
You know what I hope too? Yeah. You know, we're talking about bringing all this 90s music back, right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can bring back the pre-cancel culture too, like where I can say things without worrying about getting canceled.
I think we're slowly moving there.
I got a lot to say, guys. I'm just teetering on the edge. It's just 2 strikes in on YouTube. Right. They're keeping me refrained and restrained.
That's why I have a rope here. You can't really see. I have to tug on it a little bit before he just creeps too close to the edge. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep him at bay. Yeah. I know. If we did have our what was supposed to be our third co-host, no. Aside from that, freedom. Originally, if a little history with the podcast, right? It was supposed to be us 3 originally. I was supposed to be the man behind the cameras. Actually, that was supposed to be my role, but obviously things don't work out the way they intended. So I had to jump in the driver or the passenger seat and be one of the co-hosts. But I feel like with the other supposed to be co-host, things would have got wild, I think, just because you mix those elements and some of the conversations we've had off of I'm like, oh, good thing these weren't uploaded yet.
Yeah.
So it was pretty. It was pretty fun, and it was just pretty wild, though. That's the thing, right? But you're right. Like you look back at, you think about the fact that anything could be taken out of context, right? And someone can just completely take things a whole different route from originally you intended, right? And it could just be weaponized against you. That's crazy.
And the funny thing is like you should hear how wild I talk at work in front of anybody and everybody. Like I mean, seriously. And like that's what I treat people. That's how I get so confident, because I'm like, dude, I said the same thing in front of everybody. Nobody had any issue, whatever, right? I don't say the N-word, just so we're clear. I don't go that far.
I don't think they were thinking that, Brett.
I feel like they were thinking that.
But thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying that for anybody that's had any clue or assumption that you would have said that. You know, say,
hard R, soft R, none of it. None of it.
Yeah, there's no hate over here. You dated a black chick before, right?
Yes.
You did, huh?
Yes.
So there you go, see?
Yeah, I mean, you know, my goal was to tap into all the flavors.
All the flavors?
Yeah, that was but I stopped, you know, I found my true love and I stopped. I was like, all right,
that's it.
Found the one.
Yeah, time to lock her up.
But, you know, like there's definitely some missing flavors in there.
Hey, sometimes you go to Baskin Robbins, you can get only a few, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So it's all good, bro.
But I had my fun. I'm glad I wish my numbers I could have taken those numbers down a little bit. You know, I was a pimp.
There you go, man. What did it say? No, that's you can hate the player, but you can't hate the game or something like that.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, I don't think that applies to you though. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, man. I mean, life goes on. We're good, you know. Aside from that, brother, I mean,
we got our Rockstar, we got our Saratoga.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm glad you liked it. I was kind of hoping, I hope this drink ain't crap, because
nope.
You know,
that's what I was afraid of. I've tasted some sparkling water.
Yeah.
And it has like this really almost like
Alka-Seltzer taste.
Something like that, right? But this was like, it said sparkling spring water, so that's always spring water. That's douche.
Yeah. Can't go wrong. All right, man. If you feel like we've touched base on
better than fall water,
or the other one, what's that?
Winter water,
or the regular Dasani, that garbage,
tap water,
right? Tap water, all that fluoride in there and stuff like that, dude. Hell no.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're gonna call it good on this one. Sorry for the delay. Of course, we do our best to come here together and bring you some entertainment, some enlightenment to get you through your day, to get you through your week. Of course, we do our best to just try to put out content for all you lovely listeners and viewers out there. And of course, follow us on our all our socials, where we are on Twitter, aka X. I think it's B_E_pod, I believe.
Yeah.
So go check us out on there. We are active on there, and we're also active on TikTok, Beyond Expectation Pod, and on Instagram, Beyond Expectation Podcast.
TikTok
YouTube,
is where we're pounding the pavement, right?
Yeah, TikTok. Actually, like I said, a couple of our clips are getting up there in numbers, and just a lot of interactions, and a lot of people just liking our stuff, which is cool. I mean, we love to see our stuff expand, and just hopefully navigates you to all our full episodes. If this is something that you enjoy listening to, if we definitely bring entertainment to your lives, and even the smallest fraction, that's what we're here to do. We're just here to have fun, talk about the current events that are happening in this crazy world, and just make light of certain things, because I know like right now that the world's pretty crazy. I know, like, just with a lot going on, right? It's always hard to kind of like you think about certain things for a good moment, but at the end of the day, man, we all got our lives to live, and just kind of we got to move forward. At the end of the day, time stops for nobody, and we just need to get through it. Well, I mean, we're all going through something in our own lives, and hopefully we can just do something on from our behalf to help you to get through your day. Bring some entertainment, some laughter, smiles, because that's at the end of the day, that's what we really want to do. That's we do this to have fun, to have a good time, and just to laugh. Because of course, me and my buddy here, we laugh all the time. I mean, you see us off camera, we're always just cracking jokes and just really
tickling each other.
Yeah, doing some massive tickling, just all over the ground, just rolling around. You know what I'm saying? But yes, of course. Yes. But yes, check us out. We're on YouTube too as well. Beyond Expectation Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. All mainstream platforms. But until next time, catch you later on the next one. We love you. Take care. Stay safe out there. Peace.
Peace.